truly appreciate spiritual things? Well, if we do, the decisions that we make in life will reflect that we do. The Bible holds out an example of someone who truly had no appreciation for spiritual things. His name was Esau. Now, his lack of appreciation for spiritual things is shown now in his decision making. Now, Esau was the firstborn son of Isaac and Rebekah. He was a twin. His twin brother's name was Jacob. Now, they were very different. Esau was considered more of a materialistic man, fleshly, allowed his flesh to lead him. Jacob, on the other hand, was considered a blameless man, and that implied, for the most part, morally excellent. And he valued spiritual things. And how did that show? In his decision making. Now, Esau's right as firstborn placed him in a position, a very privileged position. He was to receive a spiritual inheritance. Now, what that was is he had the opportunity to become the forefather to the promised seed of Genesis 3:15, none other than Jesus Christ himself. Now, we don't have a lot of time to go into all the good decisions Jacob made versus the bad decisions that Esau made. We're going to focus on one here. We're going to go to Genesis, the 25th chapter, and we're going to read 29 through 34. That's Genesis 25, 29 through 34. And it reads, on one occasion, Jacob was boiling some stew when Esau returned from the field exhausted. So Esau said to Jacob, quick, please, give me some of the red stew that you have there, for I am exhausted. That is why his name was Edom. This Jacob said, first, sell me your right as firstborn. Esau continued, here I am about to die. What use is a birthright to me? Jacob added, swear to me first. So he swore to him and sold his right as firstborn to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, ate and drank. He got up and went away. Thus Esau despised the birthright. What an utter lack of respect for that spiritual inheritance. And he paid a heavy price for that too, if you have time to look into it. Now, when it comes to our choices, and for the most part, I want to go back to Jacob. Jacob, on the other hand, valued that spiritual inheritance. And he jumped at that opportunity to take advantage of that. Now, when it comes to our choices, let's see how our choices can affect the way Jehovah feels about us. Go to Romans, the 9th chapter, and we're going to read verses 13. Romans 9:13. And it says, just as it is written, I loved Jacob, but Esau I have hated. Now you see, our decisions can either have Jehovah love us or hate us. Now, what does this all mean for us today? Well, we as the great crowd, we also have a spiritual inheritance. What is that? We have the opportunity to live forever, paradise on earth. Now, in regards to that inheritance, the Apostle Paul gives us a stern warning in the book of Hebrews, the 12th chapter. And what I like about this scripture, that it was written so long ago, and it still is so valid to this day. You know why? Because every year, many of our brothers and sisters are disfellowshipped or disciplined in the Christian congregation because of this. And we're going to read that right there in Hebrews, the 12th chapter, and we're going to pick up there at 16. And watch that among you there is no one who is sexually immoral, nor anyone who does not appreciate sacred things, like Esau, who gave up his rights as firstborn in exchange for one meal. Now, notice how the Apostle Paul places sexual immorality in the same light as he does as to what Esau did. Now, why did he do that? Because if we allow ourselves to be led by our flesh, like Esau did, we're more likely to cave into sexual immorality, thus making sexual immorality our literal bowl of stew. So may we please, brothers and sisters, may we continue to guard our spiritual inheritance. How? By our wise decision making.